What's good with the YouTube? You already know Big Flacco with a convict's perspective, and I'm gonna smash, dash, slide on through with that little bit of energy. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, and do all those things to help support this channel, and hit that bell notification for future fire content. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna talk about the Bulldogs and Nortenos. Will they ever be able to coexist? Man, and the feds are walking the lines. They're eligible to walk the lines. I don't know if I talk about that in this video. I haven't gone through it, but personally, I think it would be you know, me personally, that's how I feel, man. The Norteño plight, Norteño struggle was to fight against all those who were against oppression, abuse, and whatnot. And what you're seeing with the Bulldogs on these yards is they're going through oppression. They're going through abuse, but they're still going out to the lines and handling their business. So me in particular, my belief is this. What we used to represent was against those who opposed those who were striving towards equal justice, man. If we can get along with the enemy, why can't we get along with the Bulldogs? So that's just my personal opinion. I'm just going to keep it 100. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, the states, they ain't walking the line, but in the feds, they can walk the line. Two different entities, two different pushes, right? We'll see what happens. So today I got an interesting topic, man. And I got a little bit of information that I've been hearing through the wires. And it's the topic is, will these Norteños allow the Bulldogs to walk these main lines? Okay, apparently May 9th, they're going to be transferring a lot of Bulldogs out to main lines. Okay. They've been on the main line. Don't get it confused, but they've been on yards to where they haven't been around Norteños or they haven't been around Sureños. Bulldogs have never walked an SNY or PC yard. They've been mainline this whole time. They've just been separated from the rest of all these groups because of all the getting off in tension between Sureños and Bulldogs, Norteños and Bulldogs. So what I'm hearing right is this. Now, I'm going to give you my perspective and my views first and foremost. If the Norteños and NF can walk the yards with the MA, then why can't they walk the yards with the Bulldogs? You know, traditionally, we were always taught that we would never be able to walk a main line with the Mexican Mafia. You know, as an our soldado and so forth, and we used to school people that, you know, any MA touches down on their guard, we were supposed to take them out by all means necessary. We were supposed to hit their security detail and so forth and try to take a life. Things have changed. As you can see, they're coexisting on these yards. And so if you can do that, and it's all about whether you're active or inactive, why can't you sit there and embrace the Bulldogs in the yard and let them be welcomed? You know what I mean? I see no difference to it. That's my personal view. So for anybody saying, oh, F the Bulldogs and this and that, well, bro, they're programming out there with the MA. What's the difference? If they're not going to coexist in good standings and so forth, and there's no potentially damaging paperwork or, you know, certain offenders with deviant charges, then why not? I've been hearing this is what's been pretty much been put out there in the wires. I don't know how accurate it is, but I've heard it from numerous sources, people who've just touched down. That the directives that have been put out there is they're going to see if they can coexist, how the Bulldogs operate in the feds with the Norteños. They're going to give them that opportunity to touch these lines and see where it goes. But in order for that to happen, I think you're going to have immediate diplomatic relationships. They're going to have to immediately get at each other, and neither side can present too much of a threat. Yeah, they're going to be on their toes. They're going to have to be leery, right? But those communications need to happen, you know? So if the Bulldogs into the yard and they all come like 40, 50 deep to confront the issue, of course there's going to be conflict. But if two or three of them go over there and talk to some OGs and let their security be maintained at a distance, but they could probably have a worked out relationship. Now, what's going to occur from there further? They're going to have to be entitled to their phones and tables and so forth. So those type of political interactions are going to have to occur. And the NF and Norteños have never been about oppressing any other group or race. So I'm pretty sure there'll be some open dialogue in how they can fix these issues. We don't know what the Sureños are going to do. That's going to be a big issue right there. You know, I heard that May 9th, they're going to be put in Solano and other facilities and so forth, man. And they're also going to be trying to integrate certain SNY gangs and put them out there in these yards as well. That's a whole different story. They're going to be getting busy if that happens. And what's the whole reason for the administration doing this? You know, is to cause turmoil, to cause violence, and to slam these yards down, generate more income, and open up the shoes again. That's what it's all about, man. You know what I'm saying? The Bulldogs did fight to, as far as legal battles, to get out there in these main lines. They've been separated. Like, they were on Salinas Valley CR for a minute with, you know, other whites and other groups like that. You know what I mean? So this is going to be a little bit different.
You know what I'm saying? But the one thing you can say about any Bulldog is they've never debriefed, they've never told, and they don't allow funding charges within their groups. So this is going to be interesting to see how everything proceeds from here. I kind of, if the approach really is to allow them to be on the yards, how it is in the feds, I respect it. You know, Skip, you know, who's in the feds, right? NF General, was one of the ones that always felt that they could be brought back into the fold. So they've always left open arms to certain individuals in the feds, whether they want to rock or not. You know, so this is going to be an interesting scenario. So I'm pretty sure right now there's a whole big list of dialogue, communications, and so forth, man. And, you know, I don't know if the administration is just going to throw everybody out there to the dogs and see what happens. Who knows, man? It could turn ugly real quick, or it could be maintained peace and everything can go in a different direction. The bottom line is this, you know what I'm saying, is, you know, people have a difference of opinion, whether you're from up north, a Bulldog, or Sureño. You're all raza, period. You just have different ideologies and beliefs. And most of these dudes that are out there now that are Bulldogs on these main lines were not around when the split occurred. They've just been grown into this. They were born into this struggle. They were born into being a Bulldog. You can't hold them accountable whatever happened in the past with certain dropouts and so forth. You know, and if people are really about trying to be positive, the positivity, and about, you know, going to prison and allowing people to learn trades and coexist and getting rid of all the violence, why not, man? You know, these are things that really need to be discussed and talked about, man, because, you know, whatever happens on the streets is the streets. You know what I'm saying? And you can't change that. Gangs are going to be gangs. People are going to gangbang. People are going to fight over turf. That's just natural instincts of anybody who lived in that lifestyle, you know? So I've been doing a little research. I've been touching base and reaching out to certain people. Some people have got out and they gave us a little bit of the information of what's being said. How true of it is it? I don't know, but it is out there in the wires. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. I think in any event, all sides are going to be ready and prepared for anything. But I think the end game, everybody realizes, is this. This could turn into where yards are slammed, visits are slammed, searches are continue. If you're locked down, nobody can continue to operate their business. You know what I'm saying? And nobody wants that, you know. But the integration within the SNY groups, that's going to basically probably be about a 24-hour limit to pick a target and get off. And so I think that they're going to have a working relationships with other individuals. You know, I remember when I was in Corcoran Shoe, we had an agreement with the MA and the Sureños that if any trash came from any of their groups, we were to take flight as the door popped open. It didn't matter if it was a white, Sureño, black, Norteño, Bulldog, or whatnot. If they were in bad standings, it was a mandatory green light to get off, man. You know what I'm saying? If they were active, we stood down. You know? So the biggest issue I see coming is this, is having a new group come to a facility. You know what I mean? How are they going to house them? Are they going to house them all in one building? You know what I'm saying? To where there's phones, there's all that. What side of the yard are they going to be kicking it on? Is it going to be the Sureño side or Norteño side? Who's going to try to open them with open arms and embrace them? You know what I mean? Or is it going to be all together? You know, there's a whole long list of factors we have to consider in this, man. And, you know, like I said, man, my whole view is this. You know what I'm saying? They're raza. You know what I'm saying? None of them have any bad standings upon them as far as paperwork, deviant charges, and so forth. Why not give them an opportunity to be out there on the lines? If you're going to program with MA, what's the fuck's the difference? That's my personal opinion. I never thought that we would ever program on a main line with any metal. I never thought that would happen at all. You know, but it's a new age, man. I think with all the different transition, though, that's been going on with the growth of the SNY, I think that's maybe been the focus of all these groups nowadays, man, is why not embrace those that could be more of a force in taking out the SNY groups that are going to be pushing those agendas out there in these main lines. You know, like I said, it's a different era, man. Things change, times evolve. You know, there comes a time when you got to start thinking a little bit outside of what the norm has been for all these years, man, and maybe look at how this could be very more lucrative and beneficial for everybody. It opens up a network resource potentially to Fresno, bigger business opportunities and so forth, man. You know, that's thinking from the criminal mindset, man, and I'm not trying to do that, man. I hope that either way that these individuals can coexist, take advantage of the privileges and incentives out there on these prison yards, man, and have some type of peace, man. The The only other concern I have is maybe they can scale back a lot of these inside hits that are going on, man, because people are out there getting hit on a constant basis every day, man. There's been a lot of in-house murders on these main lines. Part of it is cleaning up house, but the other part, man, people are getting dinged for like a lot of issues, man, like cell phones or losing a bundle or, you know what I mean, stuff that you wouldn't have got hit so far in the past. You know what I mean? Maybe they'd be salvageable. You know, I don't know if that's just to set the tone for others to follow. So that sometimes you have to do that to set an example. But I've never seen so many in the last 4 years, just regular ends being murdered. I'm saying being killed out there in these main lines, man. You know, for whatever infractions or violations. I don't know all the details, man, but it's happening out there, man. And you know, you got to get back to the basics, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can look at bond number 3 in some senses, if you can align any group that could potentially be worthy to your cause, wherever they're from, you know what I mean? Those are the agendas of the people. You know what I mean? As long as nobody's out to oppress you, you know what I'm saying, and put you in harm's way, why not be able to coexist? Why not be able to push those lines? You know what I mean? Things are changing in the system, you know? Eventually, you never know what could occur, you know? And the overall realism of all this, right, is that everybody is of Latin descent. They have Raza bloodlines. They all have a historical presence of being involved in the same type of mix activities, whether it's Fresno, Bay Area, the Valley, LA, San Diego, man. Everybody's about their business, man. And you're going to have those that are soft as well, man. So, you know, this is my personal view. This is my personal perspective, man. I mean, I could be wrong, you know, but I think that there has to be a different agenda than what's been going on all these years. You start to make progress that you've seen since the end of all hostilities. Don't let that all go down the drain just because some people have bigger egos than others, you know. Anyways, this is a real quick spiel with your boy Flacco, man. Real talk, always keeping it real, pushing the hard line, man. I'm out.